So I'm of the belief that FISA is a sham and should be shut down. So what had happened this week, if you're not following it, is there's been this big debate, and the House finally passed this FISA reauthorization bill. And many conservatives and libertarian types and many Democrats don't like the idea that there can be warrantless searches of American data in databases containing foreign intelligence surveillance material. So what happens is, and we're talking about a ginormous, I don't know if that's a word, how about an enormous, unfathomable amount of data that our intelligence agencies collect in targeting overseas foreign targets, right? And some of that data captures communications about or with American citizens, and it's in the database. So if foreign terrorist X and nasty government foreign official Y are talking about a plot with American citizen Z, in theory, they can search this database about American citizen Z in the context of this foreign intelligence surveillance. Or if the activity of two foreign nationals or foreign nationals suggests that they're in contact with Americans, they can do a deeper dive into the file and find out who they are, and they get more information and target that American for further surveillance. So that was the debate. And the debate is conservatives and others wanted a warrant requirement in order to look at Americans who are caught up in foreign intelligence surveillance. And remember, this is surveillance supposedly only done for the purposes of the president's role as commander-in-chief to surveil threats against the United States from abroad. And the whole FISA process is designed to constrain or kind of provide a process through which that occurs regularly, and there's some accountability for that, because previously there was no accountability. Presidents had presumptive constitutional authority to do everything we're talking about here without the courts checking him. I'm kind of overstating it for effect there. So I'm of the belief that FISA is a sham and should be shut down, and warrant requirements are unconstitutional impositions on the president's authority as commander-in-chief to protect the nation and spy on foreign nationals. And if you're talking to a foreign national or foreign nationals talking about you, that falls within the ambit of the president's national defense authorities under the Constitution, and he can try to figure out what's going on. Now, the warrant requirement, and this is what I say here, the whole FISA reform debate is a sham. The best reform would be to prosecute Obama under the new rules they've come up with for Trump, because now you can be prosecuted for acts of crimes you allegedly commit as president, and the other abuses of FISA. But instead, we're going to get full authorization for a process that has proven itself immune from accountability for even the worst possible abuse. And and that's why I say end it. And I think Trump agreed with me on that too. And Judicial Watch has done historic work exposing the operations of FISA. Here's a tweet that highlights, and this was, I think, from what year? What was the date of this tweet, guys?
I believe 2022.
Yeah, I don't think it was 2022. I think it was I think it was even earlier than that. I say, who needs an IG? And I guess they were talking about an IG investigation of the FISA. We exposed the dossier-based FISA court fraud targeting Trump. We actually got the FISA warrants targeting Trump. First time in history they've been released. We got them through FOIA. We uncovered the FBI payments to Clinton's spy Christopher Steele, who helped create that dossier, and how the FBI cut him off from payments and then tried to rehire him, by the way. Extensive DOJ collusion through Bruce Orr. You may remember Bruce Orr. Collusion with Steele, Simpson, Glenn Simpson is the Fusion GPS guy. And this is the kicker. Look at that last one. No court hearings by the defrauded FISA courts. They had 4 applications from the federal government targeting president's campaign through Carter Page, and then the president himself through Carter Page after he became president, President Trump. And the court didn't have one hearing. Now, at that time, FISA warrant hearings were one-sided, and they still are. The Foreign Intelligence Court is a secret court, and it's essentially a paper. They basically push a lot of paper, it looks like. They don't hold enough hearings. But it would seem to me that if an agency is requesting 4 times the continuing spying on essentially the president and all of his men through Carter Page, a federal court might ask for a little bit more detail. What are you getting? Or what have you gotten that requires further spying? Now, we already know there's been lies in those and misleading statements and material misleading statements in those FISA warrants to justify the harassment and targeting of Trump world. And the courts did nothing about it. The only person who was prosecuted was Ben Kleinsmith, who misled one of his colleagues about Carter Page and his relationship with the CIA. Kleinsmith supposedly told his, even though he knew better, that Page wasn't a CIA source and operative, you know, and a confidential human source, when in fact he was, which would have made it much more difficult to get a FISA warrant on him because he's someone who already was in a position of trust with our intelligence community. So my whole point here is all of that misconduct was illegal and could have been prosecuted, and it wasn't. And they're telling us, well, we can pass FISA again. Warrants will, you know, further requirements for warrants will help. More checks will help to stop the bad guys in the FBI from doing these abuses. And I don't buy it. And as I said, I've got these core constitutional concerns. The president's the one who's responsible. This whole FISA process dissipates the responsibility. No one's responsible. Oh, he did it. Oh, we got this report from so-and-so. Oh, the court should have caught it. The president, if FISA ended tomorrow, the president would still have authority to spy on foreign nationals and American citizens who were caught up with foreign nationals who were the target of those spies. Now, if he wanted to convict them, if there wanted to be prosecutions, there might be warrants that would be required. But that's not the issue here. So, you know, I know some people don't want to hear this, and a lot of my good friends disagree with me on this, but this whole FISA debate is a crock. And so FISA is likely to be reauthorized for 2 more years with some modest protections for privacy. There's probably not going to be an unconstitutional warrant requirement. And we're just going to have to trust Joe Biden not to abuse it, and the people like Wray and Garland and people like that, the CIA who was working to spy on Trump, not to abuse it. Do you trust them? I don't. But don't worry, there's a FISA process that will protect us. It hasn't protected us before because it's a government program. Just remember, FISA is a government program that doesn't address the fundamental issues that I'm talking about here. So forgive me for going on a little bit about FISA, but I have a particular view on it. We've done a lot of work on the issue, and I think a lot of people are all wet about their analysis of it. They've got this horrible government program that isn't checking prior abuse, won't check current abuse largely, and it's some of the worst spying in American history targeting Trump. For all we know, it's continuing. But don't worry, FISA will be around for 2 more years and you'll be protected, right? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like our video down below.